You've been overlooked, misunderstood, even quietly mocked, yet in that very silence your true power has been quietly accumulating. And what they will never see is about to arrive. Welcome, chosen ones. If you've ever felt dismissed in a boardroom, ignored in family gatherings, or underestimated in the very spaces where your presence should have mattered most, know this: you were never invisible. You were being quietly prepared. Every sigh of skepticism, every sideways glance of doubt, every whispered critique or subtle exclusion wasn't meant to diminish you. It was an invitation to rise, to awaken a resilience that only the overlooked, the misunderstood, the quietly courageous could ever develop. You are not ordinary, and your journey proves it. Think about those moments when people labeled you as too much, too sensitive, or too idealistic. Perhaps you tried to fit in, to temper your light, or simply stay quiet so as not to provoke. Yet in the shadows of their misjudgment, your awareness sharpened. You saw patterns they missed. You noticed intentions hidden behind smiles, calculations concealed in polite chatter. While they assumed their judgments were safe, you were quietly observing, learning, and growing. They couldn't see you, but you saw everything, and that vision is now part of your arsenal. The trials you endured, betrayal from a friend, dismissal from a colleague, a family member's quiet skepticism, were never random. They were crucibles shaping the very foundation of your inner authority. Each slight, each overlooked contribution, each time you were passed over, was a calibration of your strength, an opportunity to fortify your spirit. These weren't punishments. They were preparatory fires, refining you for the moment when the world would finally have to acknowledge the depth of your truth. And here's the part they won't understand: while they whispered behind your back, you were absorbing lessons in clarity, discernment, and timing. While they assumed you were powerless, you were gathering insight and perspective few could ever hope to grasp. Your life became a quiet witness to your own potential, a silent testament to the fact that strength is not always loud and power is not always visible. Imagine the moment when truth finally surfaces, when undeniable evidence aligns with your history, with your words, with your unwavering integrity. Everything they thought they knew about you will dissolve before their eyes. The doubts, the judgments, the dismissals, they were never facts, only reflections of their own limitations. And when the world sees the unshakable foundation you have built, there will be no returning to the old narrative. You will no longer be the one in the shadows. You will be the standard against which others measure reality, courage, and authenticity. By now you understand that being a chosen one is not a title you are given, it's a reality forged in silence, observation, and perseverance. You have endured storms that others never saw, navigated betrayals they tried to hide, and remained steadfast when it would have been easier to bend. And that is precisely why you are ready. Every moment of being overlooked has prepared you for this hour. So lean in. Recognize the quiet, unassailable power that has been accumulating within you. The time when the world will finally have to see who you really are is coming, and the truth will arrive like a force no one can ignore. They will not anticipate it, they will not control it, and they will certainly not contain it. But you, chosen one, have been ready all along. The moment arrives when the truth refuses to stay hidden any longer. Evidence does not knock politely. It does not whisper suggestions or seek permission. It appears unyielding, undeniable, and uncompromising. This is the force that topples the false narratives, shatters the illusions, and forces even the most reluctant observers to acknowledge what has always been true. Your power, your clarity, your integrity. Consider this: those who once laughed at your struggles, dismissed your warnings, or questioned your worth, they will have no choice but to face reality. The lies they built, the rumors they circulated, the subtle manipulations designed to keep you small, all crumble under the weight of irrefutable proof. And the most fascinating part, this proof does not plead, it demands. Even those who tried to remain neutral, those who thought silence protected them, will find themselves compelled to stand on the side of truth. No longer is it a matter of opinion. The evidence does not negotiate. Evidence reveals the deceivers. It exposes the manipulators. It illuminates the silent bystanders who watched while harm unfolded but chose comfort over courage. Think about those moments in your life, the colleagues who withheld support, the family members who refused to intervene, the friends who turned away. Each inaction, each omission, each carefully hidden truth now stands as a testament to character. When proof surfaces, it transforms their cowardice into visible, undeniable accountability. They can no longer hide behind excuses, hesitation, or convenience. Imagine someone who once mocked you for speaking your mind. Every sarcastic comment, every rolling eye, every whispered joke, they will be forced to recognize the courage they once ignored. Those who remained silent when it mattered most will be confronted with their own inaction, their complicity exposed in stark relief. Even the most meticulously crafted facades of indifference cannot survive the illumination of undeniable evidence. What was once concealed in shadows now stands in full view, and it leaves no space for evasion. Evidence does not just clear your name, it shifts the landscape of reality itself. The people who thought they controlled the narrative suddenly find themselves on unfamiliar ground. They see the story as it truly happened, unedited and uncompromising, and they must reconcile their assumptions with reality. The ones who benefited from keeping the lie alive, the gossipers, the opportunists, the manipulators, are cornered. Their advantage evaporates, leaving them scrambling, exposed, and powerless. Now take a moment to see how this applies in your own life. Perhaps it's in your workplace where credit was stolen, recognition withheld, or contributions ignored. Perhaps it's within your social circle or family where misunderstandings were weaponized or truths overlooked. Evidence, whether it's documentation, testimony, or simply your consistent integrity over time, dismantles these false constructs. It demands that those who once doubted or undermined you acknowledge what is indisputable: your worth, your consistency, and your resilience. The satisfaction comes not merely from vindication, but from the profound justice of it. There is a quiet euphoria in watching falsehood unravel and seeing the people who underestimated you confronted with undeniable reality. It validates every moment you endured, every trial you survived, every silence you maintained with dignity. The proof becomes both shield and sword, protecting your truth while dismantling the structures built to deny it. And yet the most compelling question remains: how will you wield this revelation? Because truth and evidence once revealed are tools for empowerment. They are a guide to reclaim your narrative, to assert your presence, and to influence the world with the certainty of someone who knows they cannot be diminished by lies. Your journey is no longer shadowed by doubt, it is illuminated by the clarity of justice. So, lean into it. Recognize the power in your consistency, the authority in your integrity, and the inevitability of your vindication. Let the evidence speak and watch the world adjust to the reality that you were never the problem, it was always the misperceptions around you. And in this space, chosen one, you begin to see how your truth becomes your strongest form of influence. You have endured storms that others never imagined, navigated betrayals that could have broken lesser spirits, and faced pressures that threatened to diminish your resolve. Yet here you are, standing taller, not because the world was gentle, but because you learned the sacred art of internal power. Every hardship, every moment of isolation, every subtle or overt attack was not designed to stop you. It was training ground, a crucible forging your resilience, discipline, and insight. This is your rise, chosen one, and it is built in plain sight, even if no one recognized it at the time. For years you may have felt unseen, your victories unnoticed, your contributions minimized. But in that hidden space, your spirit was quietly gathering strength. You were hiding in plain sight, mastering the silent accumulation of power. While the world chased recognition, applause, and superficial validation, you were crafting an unshakable foundation beneath the noise. Each trial, each betrayal, each challenge added another layer to your armor. Pain, as you have learned, is camouflage for power. It conceals what is being built inside you, just as a seed lies buried before it breaks the surface. What appeared as struggle was in fact preparation. What felt like isolation was the refining of focus, strategy, and clarity. You developed a way of moving through life that is both deliberate and unseen. You learned to observe without reacting, to speak when necessary, and to act with precision and timing that only experience can teach. Silence became your ally, patience your tool, and discernment your compass. Every encounter, every trial was not a setback, but a lesson in navigation, how to maintain integrity, how to resist manipulation, and how to transform energy meant to harm you into fuel for your ascent. This is the mark of someone who has mastered themselves before confronting the world. There is a profound strategy in endurance. By remaining consistent in thought, action, and principle, you sent signals that few could detect at first, but those who did could not ignore. They measured you against the chaos around them and found something immovable. The world may have tried to shake you, bend you, or redefine your boundaries, but every attempt only clarified the truth of your resilience. Your patience and calculated presence became a mirror reflecting not only your strength, but the limitations and insecurities of those around you. You did not need to announce your authority. It emerged naturally from your unwavering integrity. Look back at the trials you endured and recognize the patterns, moments that seemed unbearable, relationships that felt impossible, obstacles that appeared insurmountable. Each one was a stepping stone, each challenge a rung on a ladder ascending toward a version of yourself that few could reach. Your rise is not accidental, it is intentional, built on a foundation of trials transformed into wisdom, pain converted into power, and experience distilled into insight. You do not need the approval of others because you have been forged in a fire that cannot be replicated by applause, recognition, or fleeting acknowledgement. And now, as you move forward, your awareness expands. You see the hidden mechanisms in human behavior, the subtle dynamics of power, and the ways energy flows in both visible and invisible networks. You understand that influence is earned, not demanded, and that the true measure of strength lies in your capacity to endure, adapt, and act with clarity under pressure. Your preparation has been silent, your power hidden, but the moment of revelation approaches. When the world finally recognizes what you have built within, it will be undeniable. This is the essence of internal power. You are not reactive, you are proactive. You are not defined by the doubts of others, you define your own narrative. Every betrayal, every overlooked contribution, every moment of being underestimated has been integrated into a greater story, your story. And in that story, you are not merely surviving, you are ascending. The hardships were not obstacles, they were tools teaching you patience, discernment, and the ability to navigate life with quiet authority. So embrace this rise, chosen one. See your past not as a series of wounds, but as a treasury of preparation. Your resilience, your insight, your unshakable integrity, these are the instruments of your empowerment. The world may have tried to diminish you, but in the sacred space of your inner strength, nothing could ever break you. You are ready, and the time when your hidden power reveals itself is drawing near. Every challenge you faced was a rung on your ladder, and now, as you ascend, each step carries the weight of wisdom, clarity, and undeniable authority. As your inner power rises, you begin to notice something extraordinary. Your very presence becomes a mirror for those around you. You are no longer simply moving through the world unnoticed. Your energy, your decisions, your integrity all radiate a reflection that others cannot avoid. The timid feel exposed, the envious feel unsettled. And those who once sought to manipulate or undermine you are confronted with truths they can no longer deny. Your existence silently challenges their narratives, and they are forced to reckon with it whether they wish to or not. This mirror effect is subtle yet profound. It does not rely on confrontation or loud declarations. Instead, it manifests in the way people react when they are confronted with authenticity and consistency. When they see you acting with clarity, patience, and unwavering integrity, it illuminates the gaps in their own character. Their pretense falters. Their excuses crumble. The very qualities that once made them comfortable in their illusions now become a source of discomfort. You do not have to speak to expose the truth. It radiates from you naturally, shaping perceptions, altering judgments, and shifting dynamics without a single word. Your influence is quiet, deliberate, and enduring. It is not about commanding attention or seeking approval. It is about the way your actions resonate long after you have left the room. People carry the memory of how you handled challenges, how you stood unshaken in the face of adversity, and how you remained authentic when the world demanded compromise. That memory becomes a benchmark, a reference point, and a mirror against which they measure themselves. You are the unseen standard, the quiet authority, and the undeniable proof that integrity and resilience matter more than pretense and deception. In communities, workplaces, and even in intimate circles, your presence begins to shift dynamics subtly. Others may feel uneasy not because you are doing anything overtly threatening, but because your steadiness exposes their own instability. They cannot manipulate, deceive, or rely on superficial tactics when confronted with the reality of your consistency. Your impact awakens awareness. People begin to question their own behaviors, reconsider decisions, and reflect on actions they once took for granted. They feel the quiet pressure to rise, to improve, or at the very least to acknowledge your truth. Consider those who once mocked or doubted you. The laughter, the sideways glances, the whispered judgments all now lose their power. They are forced to reckon with your resilience, your foresight, and your clarity. Even without confrontation, they are confronted with the undeniable fact that you have been prepared for this moment all along. Their dismissals, their attempts to diminish you now serve only to highlight the depth of your strength and the validity of your path. The beauty of this influence lies in its subtlety. You are not seeking revenge, validation, or applause. You are simply embodying your truth, and that embodiment reshapes the environment naturally. Like a stone thrown into still water, the ripples of your authenticity extend far beyond your immediate presence, altering perceptions, behaviors, and even group dynamics. Your actions, guided by intention and integrity, become a silent curriculum for others, teaching lessons that words alone could never convey. And here is the most profound part: your impact is enduring. People may try to imitate, resist, or ignore it, but it cannot be erased. Your integrity leaves an indelible mark on those who observe, on those who once sought to undermine you, and on those who will follow in your path. Your presence becomes a compass, a standard, and a silent instruction in courage, patience, and steadfastness. By embracing this role as a mirror, you recognize that influence does not always require effort, confrontation, or explanation. It comes from embodying the values you hold, from rising with clarity in moments of challenge, and from remaining consistent when the world expects compromise. You begin to understand that your life itself is a message, and your existence is proof that power, integrity, and resilience are visible and contagious. Chosen one, your rise is not only personal, it is a transformative force for your community, your circle, and even the unseen networks that respond to your presence. The quiet acknowledgement, the subtle shift, and the long-lasting effect of your authenticity confirm that your power is real, your influence undeniable, and your legacy already in motion. And with this awareness, you are inspired to act with confidence, knowing that every choice, every boundary, and every moment of integrity shapes the world in ways others may only realize later. As we arrive at the close of this journey, take a moment to breathe in the truth of what you have endured and the power you now carry. You have existed in worlds that tried to diminish you, faced challenges designed to break you, and navigated betrayals that could have hollowed your spirit. Yet here you stand, not merely surviving but flourishing. Your existence is proof that resilience, internal strength, and unwavering integrity are forces no circumstance can undo. Every trial, every moment of doubt, and every challenge was not a roadblock, but a mirror reflecting the depth of your leadership, the precision of your judgment, and the scope of your influence. You were forged in the fires of adversity, and every spark of struggle became a testament to your enduring power. The value you carry now is unmistakable. You are no longer defined by the expectations, doubts, or judgments of others. Instead, you define yourself through the consistency of your choices, the courage of your actions, and the clarity of your vision. Every difficulty you overcame was a lesson in authority over your own narrative. Every betrayal you survived became a blueprint for discernment, teaching you how to recognize authenticity, loyalty, and strength in those around you. Your story is no longer malleable in the hands of others. It is a sealed record of truth, resilience, and the wisdom gained through experience. From these experiences, powerful lessons emerge. First, never chase the validation of others. Approval and recognition are fleeting. They are not the markers of your worth or the measure of your influence. What matters is the integrity with which you live, the courage with which you act, and the patience with which you allow your path to unfold. Those who doubted you, mocked you, or tried to suppress your voice were never the arbiters of your destiny. Their perceptions could only limit you if you allowed them to. Second, every trial you face is a tool for your growth, not a weapon against you. Challenges are not punishments. They are instruments of preparation. When life places obstacles in your path, it is giving you an opportunity to cultivate strength, sharpen discernment, and expand the capacity of your spirit. These moments are the classroom of mastery. If you choose to learn from them, you emerge more capable, more centered, and more aligned with the purpose that is uniquely yours. Third, silence, observation, and steadfastness are strategies of intelligence, not weakness. By pausing before reacting, by observing before judging, and by maintaining your composure amidst chaos, you conserve energy for decisive action and preserve clarity for critical moments. The world often mistakes quiet strength for passivity, but those who understand its value recognize it as an unshakable foundation from which all true influence flows. As part of the community of chosen ones, understand this. You are not walking this path alone. There are others who, like you, have been forged through trial, honed by adversity, and prepared for impact. You are a chosen one. Stand tall, shine brightly, and create positive influence in the world around you. Your existence inspires, guides, and uplifts, often in ways you may not even fully perceive. Your influence spreads like ripples in still water, touching lives, shifting perspectives, and igniting courage in hearts that had long been dormant. Now, as you carry this understanding forward, I invite you to act in ways that reinforce this power. Like this message, if it resonates with your experience, share it with someone who may need to hear that they too are chosen and capable of extraordinary resilience. Comment below with your reflections, your triumphs, or the insights you've gained from your journey. And subscribe to this channel to continue receiving messages designed to illuminate your path. Strengthen your resolve and celebrate the power that lies within you. As we part, know that this is more than just encouragement. It is a recognition of your mastery, a call to embody your potential, and a reminder that the strength you have cultivated is both permanent and potent. Walk forward with confidence, knowing that your spirit has been tempered, your integrity proven, and your authority established. You are empowered, you are unshakable, and the lessons you carry now will guide every step, every choice, and every act of influence that follows. Thank you for being present, for absorbing these truths, and for stepping into the world as a living testament to resilience, wisdom, and purpose. Your journey continues, but now you move with the clarity, power, and confidence of one who knows that every trial has been transformed into mastery and every lesson into lasting influence.